Hey guys, how you doing? I want to discuss today the question of when to push and when to hang back. All right, so this question has been asked, when do I push, when do I hang back? It's a difficult question, and this is going to be a discussion, not a recipe. Because I can't give you like an exact set of like, here's when you push and here's when you hang back. It's kind of up to you to figure that out for yourself. Uh, But as you might know, in my other video, I talked about should you wait for your symptoms to go away or should you just proceed forward with your life despite the symptoms? And my opinion is that while probably for some people it's possible, and I've even heard of people whose symptoms went away and then they re-engaged with life, I don't think that's the case for most people, and it's certainly not the case for me. So I think you will have to challenge your symptoms. You're going to have to do activities despite the symptoms, sort of ignoring the symptoms. And of course, what allows you to do that is the understanding that these symptoms are completely harmless. So that's the first thing. Whenever you're like wondering, should I hang back or should I push against my symptoms? You got to keep in mind that no matter how hard you push, you cannot hurt yourself. What I mean is physically. It's like, if you have a broken leg and you push through and you try to walk, let's say, you're going to damage you. There's a good chance you're going to damage, you're going to make the break worse. You're going to create more physical damage. But we know in our condition, there's no physical pathology, not at the macro level, like of a broken bone, nor really, truly at the macro level. There's nothing really broken, And I discussed this thing in other videos, but this, you gotta sort of keep this always in the back of your mind that you cannot hurt yourself by pushing. You may feel unpleasant though as a consequence, and you may also have an increase in fear because, for example, I had been bedbound. I couldn't have just jumped out of bed and ran a mile, That would have been crazy. I mean, theoretically, I think it's possible, maybe. But in practice, that's too big a leap. That's too big a step. Well, for just deconditioning aside, just it would generate just too much fear, too much disbelief that I can do this, So for me, it's been a gradual process, step by step, and it is really about fear management and also just mental fatigue because this is a mental game, This is a game of constantly reminding yourself that you're okay, you are safe. It's also a game of working on your emotional stuff and addressing that and working through that. But this aspect of it, of symptom deconditioning, this aspect of recovery, that is a mental game of reminding yourself that you're absolutely fine, you are not broken, you're not hurt, you're not irreparably damaged. What you have here is the brain generating symptoms due to conditioning, and you got to decondition this brain response, and it takes time. It can take a while. It can be quick too, by the way, but if it's taking a while, no big deal. That's just how long it's taking. So it's a game of and this moving forward despite symptoms, engaging in activities despite symptoms, and even as the symptoms increase, that takes mental effort, And you can't always be exerting mental effort because, we're human, we're limited. So sometimes you do need to give yourself a break. You don't want to be like masochistic about it, Like, go, go, go. It's that same trait, that same personality trait that kind of got us into this mess, right? Pressuring ourselves, putting pressure. Come on, you gotta go. You gotta do this. You cannot have that attitude. With respect to moving forward despite your symptoms, you gotta be gentle with it. You gotta be gentle with yourself, and you gotta do it out of this feeling of course, I want to get out into the world. Of course, I want to be normal, and this is what I'm doing to help myself. This is how I be nice to myself, is by having this understanding that the symptoms are harmless and that part of my recovery is just moving through the symptoms, engaging in activity despite the symptoms, right? So You got to be coming from that place. And it's easy to slip in and cross over into this place of, gotta recover, gotta push myself through these symptoms so I recover, And when you find yourself in that place, maybe that's the time to take a break, to just sit back, notice what's happened, that you've crossed over, and just be nice to yourself. Say a couple of nice phrases. Just remind yourself to be gentle with yourself, to be kind to yourself, to be loving to yourself, and that you're moving forward. Not because you must, but just because this is what you want. You want to get back into life, and these symptoms are harmless, and you're gonna move forward bit by bit at whatever pace works for you. And if you got a lot of stress in your life, just current stressors, depending on your circumstances, it may have to be slower. Or if your circumstances are relatively easy, you may move a little faster, and then there could be different periods, sometimes it's moving a little slower, sometimes it's moving a little faster. But I would say, though, that you do want to try to be moving forward. Each week, if you're doing a bit more, I think that's good. Maybe if you're exercising, if you're lifting weights, maybe you're lifting a bit more weight. Maybe you're walking a bit longer distance. Maybe you're exposing yourself. If you're, for example, having trouble watching TV, maybe watching for a little bit longer, or maybe you watch it in 15-minute segments and you take breaks in between and you shorten the breaks. Just something in some sphere. You want to try to just edge forward bit by bit, closer and closer and closer and closer to just until eventually the goal is, of course, to just not be concerned at all. Can I do this? Can't I do this? Like, this question will eventually stop arising for all of us. It hasn't stopped for me yet. I still feel that anxiety and stuff, but it's just, before it was like if I'm gonna stand up off my bed, and now it's like if I'm gonna go for, I don't know, a 5-mile run or a 5-mile walk. Even I still haven't done a 5-mile walk. That's a pretty long walk, though. So, and like some other activities, mental activities too. Like I'm still having some hard time, like some days or many days actually, doing serious mental work like programming. So I just do it for as long as I can. Then I push just a little more, just to send the message to my brain that, hey, I know this is just, like a facade. Okay, it feels unpleasant. Okay, you have me for this moment with your unpleasantness, but I'm not buying into this, So this is what I do. I kind of get myself to the limit, and I just take another extra step, and then I'd be okay, because then it's easy to go back and to say, oh man, maybe I could have done more. Maybe I could have taken 2 extra steps or 3 extra steps. Hey man, it's okay. It's all right. And some days you just say, hey, today I'm just hanging back. I'm giving myself a break. Today is like a just chill out from this whole recovery process day, And whenever I said that, actually what happened is you take that pressure off, and you just naturally start doing a bit more, And some days symptoms shoot up and you take just a step back, You still don't buy into the symptoms. You don't say, hey, oh, okay, wow, my back hurts, or I have pain here, or I have mental fatigue, I have brain fog or whatever. God, what am I going to do? You just say, okay, the brain is acting up today. I'm going to have to take half a step back, whatever. But I'm still going to do, given the symptoms for the day, I'm still going to challenge them here around the edges, So yeah, I really hope that helps you. Just remember, you cannot hurt yourself physically by doing too much or whatever, but you just got to be nice to yourself. Don't act out of must. Act out of, yeah, here's the world, and I have been, sort of disengaged from the world because of this thing that I've been going through. But now I know, it's just a facade, and I'm doing the emotional work, and I'm going to do the conditioning work bit by bit at my own pace. But I am going to try to push ahead every week, bit by bit. Yeah, well, I hope that helps. Let me know how you've addressed this question for you. Is this something you're having a lot of trouble with, or because sometimes I'd have those times where I'd be like, oh, should I push? Shouldn't I push? Okay, whatever. Either way is fine. As long as the general picture is that you're moving forward. But any given day, any given circumstance, any given moment, it's not important. And yeah, you do have to take a step back sometimes. Just sit down and take a chill pill. Sit down for half an hour, watch a TV series or something. Just whatever, just do nothing kind of thing. Uh, so yeah, let me know. If you have any additional thoughts on this topic or any other really. Yeah, I'm continuing to do better. I know you can completely recover, as will I, and it's fine. It's fine. The worst is behind us. We're at a much better place now, and it's brighter days ahead for sure. So I'll talk to you next time.